Hi again, this is the Seniors Tour again at Leicester. We're going to be showing the plate final first, as the main event's semi-final is actually still in place on the next door table. As stated, we've got two players from the same county team playing each other in the final, which is quite a feat from 128 entries in the tour. Both players have been fairly successful in the main event over the year also. This is a seniors final, so if you get to thinking, well, how come the young Surinder Singh on the left is playing in this, is because he's been playing for as long as Dave, both in their 50s, both lagging now to see who gets the chance to break on this best of 9 final. Very good lag. Dave winning the lag, obviously will get the break in the first frame and potentially the break in the deciding frame should it come to it. We have Yvonne Armitage from the English Pool Referees Association, also in charge of the streaming at the event, officiating over this game. Just waiting for maybe some admin to be carried out, or Yvonne to just get the stopwatch and get ready for it. We are timing the final. We don't tend to time the matches in general during the event, which started on Saturday morning, yesterday morning, at the Club 147 in Leicester. The event's overseen by the English Pool Association's Vice Chairman, Shirley Jukes. Dave's in need of a bit of sustenance there, having been playing all day. So very shortly, this best of 9.
We're on a shot clock, are we? Shot clock. So when you go, we're not. When you go, we won't be on shot clock.
Well, I'll do it. I'll take it.
There has been a live stream throughout this event. Not always been commentary due to the availability of
Neary to break.
members of the tour to do the commentary. Dave actually defeated herself in the second round of the 4-0. They had 3 shots in the event. Nice break there from Dave. Ball spotted, yellow ball potted, but obviously with the world rules he has to nominate and potentially take the yellows.
Yellow balls in play. Red balls in play.
Dave nominated yellows after having spotted one off the break. Surinder tried to just go through the gap there, take the pockets. Dave's playing a safety by the look of it, pushing a red safe. Obviously trying to convert other balls on the table. Yellow's in a fairly strong position at this time. Neither of these players are very slow, they're modern, methodical. Don't take much time at all. Early days yet, first frame, best of 9. At a later stage, when the second one. Good shot there from Surinder, he's taken that wicket. Remains to be seen whether Dave is a DF here. It's fairly likely Surinder will have two difficult
Foul.
balls.
2 visits.
Foul snooker, Surinder can see both sides of release one of his own option balls. The options now are whether to go for game or get another ball back up this corner possibly. Taylor's still in position. Those two guys both playing in the same county, both playing the same county team, both
30 seconds.
doing extremely well. Surinder currently plays for the India national seniors team, has played for the men's and the seniors over the last few years, one or the other, and has, I'm not sure if this is his first year on the tour, but certainly he's had a very good year on the tour. I think he's won one of the main events. Not sure where either of these players are on the rankings, but we have a fair contingent of the India national players. So Surinder's going to possibly go for the pot on this, but more than likely take the bag at the top left corner, or the near left corner, as you see it. Not quite sure, has options. Still carrying 2 visits.
Seconds.
Not quite sure what he attempted there. I think he was trying to play it off the top rail, in off the yellow, to clear the bag for the yellow by the near pocket, but that's not worked out until, although he has a second visit, he'll do very well to win this frame from this position. As stated, this event is coming from Club 147 in Leicester, a good supporter of the English Pool Association over the years. It's hosted many events here. Very successful county team, very successful juniors, under 23s. Apart from Staffordshire, probably the most successful county within the English Pool Association at the moment. Dave's looking at a later stage whether he can play a plant and open those up, but I think he's likely to go for a clearance here. That was slightly surprising, forced it a bit. May give Surinder the option to cover the bag. Again, he won't be happy with that either. A little bit nervy shots on the first frame of the plate final. Playing for approximately £1,000 between them in this plate final. EPA paying out about £6,500 over this weekend. Nice shot from Dave there. Getting position on the plant across the table here. It's a case of whether the yellow to the near corner will actually go past the reds. I would say it's highly likely if he's going for it. May have actually gone for 2-in-1 there, the way he played the ball. Not quite sure why he would have done that, but We'll see now whether he can take this first frame. A little bit more successful than his last shot in the middle bag. Really only needs to roll this one in, run up the table, not get too close to the yellow. But the black looks to not go in either of these near pockets. We shall see. Very, very fast tables these at Leicester. Just when you think it's going to stop, it carries on, and vice versa. It's been a little close to the yellow, but I think he can just not jab this. Just nice controlled stun. Very close to the yellow, may come past the black for the same pocket. Nice open first frame. A couple of chances missed to tie pockets up, and that's the first frame to Dave Neary. Could be a fairly open match this, could be any score between these two. Yes, this event is one of 5 senior tour events over the year, national events. There is a separate Seniors Tour South with 48 players on, played in 4 venues in the southeast of England. It's being held again next year. Entries are being taken at £160 for the set of 4 matches, set of 4 events. Being played at Hatfield, Maidenhead, Colston and Rainham in Kent next year. The details are on the English Pool Association website, www.epa.org.uk. Also the entry forms are there for the main events next year. The cost of the main events next year are £270 for the 5 events. And as stated, this £160 for the Southern Tour. Main Tour this year went up to 128 players for the first time. We now have Surinder breaking off here, trailing 1 frame to 0. Nice attacking break, nice split. We'll just see where he ends up. Not as well as he would have liked to, but however, he may have a long yellow in the top. We shall see. He has to nominate first. Surinder's going for yellows, nice clean pot. So will want to keep this fairly attacking, may well just take this bag. So I can't quite see where his next ball's coming from. Surinder's not slow in attacking the table. I mean, a little bit of pride here between these two. As I said, they've probably been playing in the same teams for the last 30 or so years. And I was right in saying that Surinder is a young 50-ish years old. I know him from playing county pool back in 1986 for Warwickshire. We're all getting older together. Nice cover there. Dave needs to try to take the other bag. That was the only problem in going for that. He's opened up the yellows for Surinder to clear up. Nice first shot there, let the cue ball get away very, very slightly, however, only needs to roll this in the far side of the pocket. Not sure whether he's left that one, but can probably screw out into the middle of the table to take the plant next. Has got other options. I I'm joined in the commentary box by Sandra Davis, who assists the English Pool Association with their charity raising at the Great Yarmouth events, mainly for Help for Heroes this year, has been for the last 2 or 3 years. It was for Macmillan before that, and every year or so, certainly every year, the English Pool Association choose a charity to raise money for.
30 seconds.
Surinder's in 2 minds here. Again, it's a very quick table, so being right-handed, this is not easy to get to. Overhit one ball, underhit the next. The good thing with this is that you can stroke the ball, and the ball's run out very nicely here. Needs to keep away from the traffic around the top end of the table. Again, potting the ball is the priority. Won't be shy to stroke this in and try and miss that first red on the left-hand side.
30 seconds.
That was the problem. Despite my co-commentator, that wasn't the best shot in the world, as he's snookered himself on the black. He'll give himself a chance off the top cushion. Again, struggling with the pace of the table, either too hard or too soft. Won't be just rolling this, he'll be giving this every opportunity to go in the middle or the top. He probably called, he doesn't need to hit a cushion afterwards. I don't think Surinder will be seeing that black ball for a little while. Nice safety there from Dave. Obviously, with a red next to the black, he wants Surinder to move that for him. I think with a touch of first side, he can probably contact the black. He just won't want to really move it too far, make him off 2 cushions. Hard to see without the overhead picture. We don't have the overhead camera here like we do at the World Championships. As you can see from the captions on either side of the players' names, once the choice of balls has been selected, so Surinder's going to tie another yellow up behind the black, or even tried to push the black over the pocket. That didn't work at all, and I'm sure he would not disagree with me there. Obviously wanted to put the black towards the bag. One good shot here from Dave. 2-0. Not sure what happened there, whether he took his eye off the shot or... Dave may still go for these, but he's likely to either set this one up or... This is very attacking, considering he's on his 2nd visit. They're not difficult. He's got reds on either end of the table on the rail. May come up for this one early. Certainly won't want to leave it until last, I wouldn't have thought. He's got the option to come up off the middle ball here. Slightly hampered, but... doesn't want to be straight on this this top rail. and doesn't want to be overhitting it too far either, so not really sure whether that was exactly what he wanted to do. Still attacking with one visit only. That's a nice position to get back up to the top rail again. As stated, he may leave the this red at the top here for the position to get on the black. With the speed of the table, this is to be considered. Brave shot, but I believe if he went for it, then I'm surprised he missed it. However, he's just going to give Surinder a chance to fluke the black somewhere, maybe. No point in playing safe here. Give it a chance, see what happens. Middle bag. No. Never know where they're going to go really with the double kiss. The cocktail wasn't on, the cross double wasn't on. Dave's just looking at his options here really. Makes some sense to get on this top one. He may still choose to play the one in the middle of the table and come off two cushions. One would have thought so. Okay. Nice controlled shot there. Again, it's all about the position. Doesn't want to be too close to the red. Doesn't want to be too straight on the red. Absolute miss-hit there from Dave. Decelerated. Interesting position here. Whether to just bring it off the rail and try for the snooker, very likely. He certainly left a shot on the black. It's whether he can cut it in without going off, or whether he can play the double and screw back across to the left-hand side of the table. It'll certainly be an attacking shot of some sort. Surinder wins this frame, he'll wonder how. There you go. 2 in 1. Nice little option of safety there with the cue ball. Very nicely controlled double on the black. Very surprising 1-1. Surinder wasn't really in that frame until the mistake at the end. On the in picture, we have Terry Hunt on reds against Glenn Pilkington in the tour semi-final. Again, a best of 9. That will be best of 11 in the final. Looks like Glenn's got a couple of awkward balls, whilst Terry's got the open pocket. He's got the pocket covered with a red. Glenn's the more methodical player. Will take a little more time on his shots. Terry, as those of you who may or may not know, Terry Hunt was a member of the professional organisation back in the 80s, nicknamed the Blade for the sharpness of the way he looked, the way he played the game. Got a bit of grey now, but he still plays an extremely good game. Still a class act with the cue in his hand. And back to Dave's break, 1 each. That's open break, but I'm not seeing anything going. Well, first real opportunity to Surinder here. One would suspect he'll take yellows. Doesn't need to nominate at this stage as it's an open table. But he's got a lot of options here. A lot of options. Take the easy ball first.
Yellow balls everywhere.
Leave himself some decent cueing. Should take these out. say, he doesn't take much time, Surinder. When he's got his mind on what he's going for, this is where you've got to be a little careful. The tables are very, very fast when you're cutting balls in. The cue ball comes off it and just keeps going, as I know to my detriment last night. You may well be able to see this, may be able to dink this a little bit. Just bring the cue ball back off the rail. Nice shot. One good bit of cueing here to the left-hand side ball. Bring the cue ball back, maybe 6 inches, maybe 3 inches. Could even possibly just roll this in and come around the black from the last yellow. Yeah, so I think we're just gonna gentle screw behind the black. Nice shot. So this is the problem, you're playing on really fast tables. And that's 2-1 to Surinder. That was a little more like it, a little unlucky to Dave. Terry's trying to kick this off the top row with side, flick it in. A little bit of a trick shot, a little unlucky. Look at that position on the black. However, he's managed to take the pocket still, so there's a bit of a trick shot there, playing off the rail first with a bit of swerve on the right hand side to kick it across. Very unlucky. A lot of life left in that match up there in the tour semi-final. Winner of that will be playing Corby's James Feely, who's I wouldn't say back to his imperious best, but certainly having been one of the Scotland A-team players and the Scottish internationals at the World Championships, is one of the better renowned attacking players with very good cue control. But we shall see. Just comments, stick with the plate final for now. Surinder hoping not to repeat the dry break that Dave just had. I played Dave in the, as I say, the second round of the plate, and I think I got 3 shots in 4 frames, lost 4-0. Didn't do a great deal wrong. We could have a very quick frame here as well. Sorry about that, just missed you for a second there. Looks like Dave took the first yellow and got position on the one on the side rail that just dropped in. Slightly generous pockets. Just needs to double kiss this yellow in over the bag, one would suggest, and hold for it again. May play a bit more attacking here just to make certain it double kisses. Possibly overhit that even. I think that would have dropped in had it been a little softer. Fortunate not to have cleared the pocket there. I'm not sure he's left Surinder a massive amount, and may just take the bag. Very nice shot. I think Dave needs to regroup and might be a little bit more of a tactical frame here. Yeah, nice containing shot. However, I think we'll just see Surinder leave this over the bag. Obviously the same choice available to Dave, but whilst he's hitting those, he's moving them away from the pocket. needs to hit a cushion. That's a foul, 2 visits. Fortunately he's not left the foul snooker, but he has only left Surinder the one ball he didn't really want to move yet. With 2 visits, one would think he'll try to get these ones opened up at this end at some fairly early point. Played that thin. Nice shot, not quite as well as he hoped, but still with 2 visits he's got plenty of scope here to move balls around. Not sure which of these two is highest in the rankings for the seniors, for either Warwickshire or Region 5, but both doing very well. Their team have just qualified for the inter-county finals, being held last week in February, first weekend in March. Looks like Surinder's going to waste a visit here, opening a pocket. Won't be happy with that one.
Second visit.
Again, needs to think about whether he can actually attempt the clearance now. Possibly debatable. Yeah, he wanted to push the red onto the yellow and split the yellows either side, leaving the red where it was. However, he got the double kiss back.
30 seconds.
To attack still, I believe. Whilst he's got this red and yellow together, Dave would need to move something first before going for it himself. Not sure really what Surinder was going for there. He's opened them up. If the middle yellow on the left goes past the red, then might see Dave attack these. Just needs to be slightly careful here with the cue ball coming through the gap. I think Dave tried to play that off the red just to open the bag up a little bit, and he's put himself in a little bit of bother here because he's got to hit a cushion after contact with his object ball. I think he's going to try to sit on the red and while still keeping this one covered. Not bad, not bad. This will play out. I mean, Surinder's got 2, maybe 3 easy balls here. And again, would need to move the red and yellow apart at some point, and I hope it's not a plant. The problem here Surinder has is if that is a plant, then he may give Dave the option to play off one of his own balls to actually make the pot, in which case they would all be available. May choose to play the red onto the yellow to push the yellow up to the top rail, as you can see from where he's pointing. I obviously don't know what I'm talking about because he played something totally different, but he hasn't left a great deal, unless that's a plant, in which case Dave may well attack this. Dave will wish he'd committed a little more to that one. The initiative here is not with one player in this frame. It keeps passing from one to the other. No real clear-cut opportunities apart from the position after the break.
30 seconds.
Yeah, valiant attempt at the double there. Giving the initiative back to Surinder again though. Probably be looking to hide the cue ball and play the red in the middle of the table maybe. Run the cue ball around the left hand corner behind the other one. Not much to be gained for going from a pot here at all.
30 seconds.
It's pretty much what he's done. It's left him the one up the rail potentially. He is obviously once Dave clears that yellow away, he opens the pocket up for the red. So big frame this for Dave. Big frame for both of them. I like the idea there, but I'm not sure he's covered the top red ball. Yeah, just he strokes this in, comes up the middle of the table, gives himself options, further options. Comes up to where the blue spot is roughly. He's being a little very safety conscious now, Surinder. Try to put this behind the black, put the cue ball behind the black. Just under hit that a little, hit it a little quicker than he wanted. Surinder's got options here, about 3 balls that go. Really depends on how he sees it. Actually all centres around the cluster, the yellow, red, black to the left hand side really. Not left a great deal, Surinder. Opening up the balls for later on. And Dave's going to need to try and hide the cue ball somewhere. Push this yellow towards the black, the one on the right hand side towards the black, and run the cue ball around a couple of cushions to try and lay on this top rail. Not called a great deal right so far in this match, but I'm not far off on this one, I don't think. Nice shot. The only awkward bit here, as far as Dave's concerned, is that there are so many reds on the table from which to move that cluster. Surinder's been more cautious than I would have expected here. The downside is if he leaves him anywhere up the top, the yellow closest to us now goes, and just giving Dave an opportunity now. One good pot to the right hand side with a bit of positioning, and so you can see Dave's lining up where he wants the cue ball to be, just off straight. Needs to avoid being behind a red ball on the right hand side. Not sure whether he's hit enough of that, but we'll soon see. He won't hang around. Punch this through. Ended up with more of a stun than a punch. Not sure whether the yellow will go in off the black at pace. May even go in the right hand corner, which he's looking now, into the right hand corner off the black. Can play it a little bit more controlled. Again, if this doesn't go right over the bag, one would have thought that Surinder would attempt this. You can play this at just a medium pace, just off the black. He'd like that one again. You can see from the bit of a slump there, he wasn't impressed with his attempt there. I think you need to put much of a stop clock on this one, to be honest. Certainly not this frame. these haven't all gone in the next 30 seconds to a minute, I'd be slightly surprised. Doesn't take a lot of time queuing up when they're there. Just thinking now whether to stun across for the other red above it into the same pocket. Surinder has so many options here. He's nicely controlled. Little stun, maybe run through. Little stun, run through again. Nice and straight on the last red. Does like a little stun run through, does Surinder. More angle than he thought he was going to have, but again he's going to come across the table, not leave anything. Very nicely done there. Dave got the opportunity towards the end that he didn't expect. Unfortunately, one slightly wayward shot and a failed attempt at a plant. 3-1 to Surinder. To say there's been quite a few options for both players in this match to gain the advantage. Surinder has made less mistakes at the moment than Dave, I would say. But a little way to go yet.
I've just changed that lot.
Yeah, that's all right.
I'm not sure if we can have an update on the tour semi-final, possibly. On table 3, which happens to be the next table. Table 2 is at the far end of the room, for whatever reason. So Terry Hunt was leading 2-1 the last time we were on watching that table, and in a fairly commanding position against Glenn Pilkington. Glenn has his own club up north, and north is not just north of Watford Gap, north is north. Terry hails from the Sheffield area. I'm not sure if he's still in that area. Terry Hunt. Known Terry since the mid-80s, late 80s. Seniors Tour entries are being taken this weekend from existing players. Quite a few new players are coming online. There's information on the EPA website on how to enter the Seniors Tour. You can enter it in the year that you reach 50, so anybody who is 50 in 2019, anytime during that year, can enter next year's Seniors Tour. There is a potential that we'll end up with more than 128 entries, and we'll have to decide how we manage that position. We went up from 96 to 128 this year, paying out about £30,000 over the year. We have some interesting players coming on to the Seniors Tour next year. Liam the Knife Stanley from Nottinghamshire, played in the England side for many years. Very tough competitor. Unfortunate to go out in the men's national amateur at a late stage. We're back with the plate final now. Dave Neary to break. The score is incorrect at the moment. It should be 3-1 to Surinder Singh. I'm sure we'll get that amended very shortly. Unfortunately, Dave's found a dry break again, as he did the last time he broke, and Surinder polished them off very quickly. Not quite as easy this time. Can't quite see a clear set of balls to go for. Having said that, should he pot a straight red, then he's not going to do that. He's looking at the plant. It's much more difficult shot. But if he pots this fairly straight red and screws back, then he'll have one ball to move off the side rail. I wasn't aware that Surinder could actually see that ball. It wasn't clear from this angle. But if he can now perform a tight cut on the red in the middle, then he'll be okay. Yeah, when I'm playing that shot, he just moved the red slightly to the right-hand side, so this could be tight. Just needs to avoid the middle bag, again, nicely positioned. Yeah, nicely positioned. Very slightly close to the red. Either red may well take the top one because he can just. A little bit more control here, a little bit of stun onto the other one. This one isn't bad. He's going to push the yellow slightly towards the other red. Again, needs to stroke it. And this Surinder's on the charge again. This is the short, sharp stun, run through stun, roll them in, but one stroke with the cue. Slightly let that one go, but should be able to just bring this back. A bit of good cueing here. Good cueing, head down, one stroke, and roll it. There you go. Quite a simple game really when you watch Surinder clearing up. No drama. We're showing in frame picture now Terry in a commanding lead 4-1. First to 5, that main event semi-final. Looking forward to the final immensely there. Potentially Terry Hunt and James Feely. Almost an old guard. How can you say that when they're both over 50? However, both got massive experience over the years. So Terry's in a good position there. On reds at the moment, Glenn's played a containing safety, tried to tie the ball up on the top rail. And Terry's likely to try and hide the cue ball as well, I would have thought. Whilst he's fallen up, he may attack, but he's a twofold shot. Certainly would be happy with where the cue ball is. Not sure that he was going for game from there, but we're back with the plate final. Surinder in a 4-1 commanding lead over Dave Neary, team colleagues from Warwickshire. Probably one of my favourite breaks, that the screw back off the front ball. If you can get the red ball plant in the middle, if you can make that without contacting the black, then he's in a great position to clear these reds up. However, yellows are also very, very good here. I think he's wavering, needs to nominate. He's nominated yellows. These are almost roll-ins as well. I don't think this frame might last very long either. He may take the one in the middle and stun down for the second red up, but he's in that mode at the moment. It's Surinder. Needs to, if he's going to run this forward, just needs to avoid the nearest red ball. If he's straight enough, he can run through. Maybe even push the red ball out of the way. Yeah, obviously one yellow passes the other. The black also goes in the right-hand corner. This maybe tighter than it looks, but nicely controlled. Just needs to come back out 6 inches past where he is now. May top it on his side. This is the easy way to play pool, to be honest. Yeah, Surinder's when he's had the opportunities, he's just taken them, no drama. Just pretty much the way the guy is as well. One of the nicest people on the circuit. Well deserved 5-1 win to Surinder Singh in the play final. Unlucky to Dave, didn't quite run for him in the final. Two teammates, I'm sure they'll not chide each other over who won that match too much, will they, Surinder? Anyway, really good final. Looking forward to getting on with the main event final now. Some nice trophies here, purchased from Awards for You in Stanmore. Nice bit of glassware for the winners of these two events. Anyway, we'll join you. I'll either join you for the remainder of the semi-final, or we may be offline for a little while awaiting the main event final, which will probably be on this table. We'll see you again soon. Bye bye now.